Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're gonna be nicer to call center staff after watching this video. In 20 years, she's never had two services at the same time, so she decides to belittle me. So I work in a call center as a customer service representative for a popular lawn care company. Lawn care is interesting and it's not a stressful job usually. We sometimes do two services at the same time, meaning we will perform a fertilizer and then right after we will spray your lawn for weeds. The services don't conflict whatsoever. So, in calls Crazy Lady, who will be CL for the rest of the story. She's an elderly Italian lady and clearly a smoker from her voice, you know the type. This is Lawn Care, me speaking, how can I help you today? Your technicians proceeds to cough for a good 30 seconds straight directly into the phone. It hurts my ears. They didn't leave a sign on my lawn, they left two bills. Coughs again for 10 seconds. In one bag? This is not possible. They've never done two services before. Okay, ma'am, I understand your confusion as we don't normally do this, but sometimes it does happen so that we can meet a specific time frame for our services and ensure your lawn is kept up. No, you're stupid. I need to speak with somebody who knows what they're talking about. I've been with this company for 1,000 years and you have not ever been here. You don't know anything. I need to speak with a supervisor now. Me trying to de-escalate. Miss, I'm sorry that I've upset you. It's strange that you've never experienced this, but it does happen from time. You're stupid. You don't know what you're saying. I need to speak with a supervisor who isn't stupid. Listen, miss, I don't appreciate being called stupid. Please do not call me that, as I'm just trying to assist you. I don't care. You're not doing anything for me. I need you to get your supervisor on the phone. I've been with lawn care for 20 years. Me clearly getting agitated. Okay, please hold. I heard this as I put the phone down and pressed hold. I need to speak to a supervisor, stupid woman. So, at this point, Crazy Lady was put on hold and I spoke to my manager. She informed me that I'm not doing anything wrong and told me to give her another warning, and if she doesn't listen to warn her again and then hang up. She also informed me that if necessary I could claim that I'm a supervisor. So, back to Crazy Lady I went, and I made sure to smile as I was talking to her and put on my sweetest voice I could. Hi, thank you so much for your patience. So I've just spoken with my supervisor and she confirmed with me that sometimes it does happen. Unfortunately, she's not available to take your call right now, but I can assure you that this is normal. No, you're so wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about. I need somebody who isn't stupid and knows what they're doing. I don't believe that your other supervisor is not available because I've talked to her before and she's not stupid like you. Put your supervisor on the phone. Ma'am, I'm warning you now. Please do not call me stupid anymore. I'm not here to be berated, I'm here to help you. And I wasn't speaking with the supervisor, I was speaking with my manager, and I am a supervisor on the same level as my supervisor, so we have the same amount of power. I do not appreciate being called names, as I'm only trying to help you. Well, you aren't helping me. I can't believe how stupid you are. You know nothing about my lawn and these services. I want to speak to a big supervisor, bigger than you. Now, it's kind of hard to convey this over text, but the next two lines were said at the exact same time. This is the worst customer service. You can't listen to me. You are so wrong and I do not care about you. I want to speak to somebody not stupid. Ma'am, this is your last warning. I do not appreciate being called stupid and if you keep... Okay, I'm hanging up now. Click. I cannot tell you how absolutely satisfying it was to hang up on that woman. I have never had to do that. I'm always able to at least somewhat de-escalate the situation to a point where they're calm enough to reason with, or they get too frustrated and hang up on me without yelling too much. She was so unreasonable, and just hell-bent on calling me stupid because in her 20 years of being with us, we have not once done two services on the same day. She was so upset about that, and her solution was to belittle me. The best part is, she called back right after and got the supervisor in question, and when she was accused of belittling me and calling me stupid, she claimed she was talking to her cats, and that they were the stupid ones. The audacity. That's no way to speak to anyone. Or your cats. That woman sounded like a complete nightmare. That call should be listened to by a manager, and then the woman either formally warned or just banned from the company altogether. Nobody needs to be dealing with that. My second ever dealer call. Hey at Tales from Call Centers, here's my second story. This happened close to a year ago. So, previous employer had a certain US mobile phone client whose name starts with a T. Call volume was starting to dry up due to the client implementing a new strategy which focused more on having regional call centers rather than global ones. I'm in Canada, and before the contract ended, my call center was considered a legacy or global call center. As a result, all inbound reps under my new employer got put into both dealer support as well as customer support. Previously, I had been customer support only, though I was aware there was a separate bunch of reps that dealt with dealers on the other side of the floor. Oh, and this happened on the same day we received training for dealer calls. During the training, we were told this would not happen for the next 3 or 4 days, but then we got back on the phones and quickly found out this was not the case. The very first dealer call I got, I assumed it was some sort of mistake and transferred it to dealer support, which I was, but I didn't know that at the time. I probably would have been even more confused if I transferred them to myself, which is actually something that happened on a totally different call, no joke. But fortunately at the time, that didn't happen. Anyway, in between a couple of customer calls, I spoke with a support colleague and confirmed that indeed we were getting dealer calls even though I was previously informed that wouldn't happen today, and that we are expected to follow through with them. Joy. So, I get a dealer call, the second one I get, and I decide to own it since that's my job now. Account is in New York, first time verifying into an account with a dealer code instead of a customer's PIN, so I was probably a little laggier than most reps this particular dealer had talked to, if any. There's a particular jargon you get used to when verifying with dealers, and I don't remember too clearly if I did it very smoothly, but that's not the reason I wanted to share this story. Dealer after verifying the account. Our customer here wants to add a 2-in-1 line to her account. What? A 2-in-1 line, and she's in a hurry. Mind you, we offer no products that are referred to as 2-in-1 lines. We've got voice lines, we've got mobile lines for tablets, we've got IoT lines, we've got VoIP eSIM lines. What this dealer is referring to is nothing I've ever heard of before. I look it up in our knowledge base, nothing is referred to as a 2-in-1 line, so I go into customer doesn't know what they're talking about mode with this dealer. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, is the customer purchasing a phone? She already has the phone, she just wants a 2-in-1 line. Okay, are you talking about just one line or 2 lines? I mean a 2-in-1 line, God, do you know what you're doing? Not going to detail every word said, mostly because it's been some time, but dealer is almost getting hostile. After this whole event, I figured he was probably putting on a show for the customer who was likely standing in front of him, and maybe he was, like me, kind of new and actually didn't know what he was talking about. Several minutes of back and forth later, I pieced together that the dealer is asking me to add a new voice line and a new VoIP line to the customer's account. At no point does the dealer volunteer this information, I had to pull it out of him and figure out the rest. Keep in mind that the client places a lot of emphasis on call handle time, probably our second most important KPI after customer surveys, which obviously doesn't apply to dealer calls. So now I have to actually add the lines, which is something that customers don't normally ask for. They either get activated at the store or receive a SIM card that's already partially activated, so I'm not used to doing that. Especially since most customers I spoke to previously basically never used their VoIP lines and usually complained that it was an extra $15 monthly charge that had been added to their account without their knowledge, so the dealer got some sort of commission on them if they weren't removed within 3 months. For this client, we used 2 different programs to access accounts. One of them is relatively recent. The other was created in Windows 98 era, although it looks older. Of course, the older one is the one that has more functionality, and of course, the older one is the one I need to use to create a VoIP line. And, of course, this is the system I was less than familiar with. But later on, I did learn to love it because it allowed me to do things I wasn't supposed to do, but made my customers and dealers happy when I judged it appropriate. So I trudged along creating a new voice line, attempting several times to obtain a valid SIM card number from the dealer, and then create a VoIP line which didn't require a SIM card. Often while I work away figuring out the correct steps, the dealer is breathing heavily into the phone as if trying to do an imitation of the T-Rex from the first Jurassic Park. Several times this happens. Are you done yet? My customer needs to get going. Yeah, I'm almost done. Well, hurry up! It's been X amount of minutes and my customer just wanted to make this quick. The type of account program I'm using is the kind that involves a different pop-up window for each step, and if you do something wrong or click the wrong button you have to press cancel and start from the beginning again. I'm pretty sure this happened a couple of times, but much like how I deal with customers, I try not to let the dealer know that I'm having any difficulty. I don't know how effective I was at that. I didn't know whether it was the right strategy, but that's what we're trained to do, so I follow our policy. I have the feeling this particular dealer would just berate me for it either way. Eventually, I get everything done. The dealer refreshes the account on his end to confirm I didn't frick it up, and promptly hangs up without so much as a thank you. It took some time and many more calls from dealers, but I was much later relieved to learn that my second ever dealer call was actually my worst one ever. In fact, after some time, I learned to actually love dealer calls much more than customer calls, since the majority of dealers actually know what they're talking about, unlike this one bad apple. Later on, I learned to assert myself in a professional manner on dealer calls when the dealer was being an idiot. even to the point where if a dealer was doing something really fishy, I'd ask him or her to put their manager on and then notate the account if the dealer decided to hang up. Also, fun fact, the account type being called for actually had its own queue for activating lines, so I could have just transferred the dealer to them rather than do it myself. I didn't learn that until afterwards though. Okay, so that's all for r/Tales from Call Centers. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!